We also do have in our studios, actually, Mr. Daniel Bwala, who, as you know, of the People's Democratic Party. You heard the spokesperson of INEC there. So I know perhaps concerning the presidential results, that's the one that sticks out for you. What do you make of his explanation?
Well, I got more confused than clarified, especially because you have all asked him some of the questions that are very clear and important. For example, one fact that is clear is that the elections are conducted at the polling unit, and then you get the opportunity to cast your vote for the president and the National Assembly at the same time. They are recorded at the same time. Whatever you will do with it, whether it is snapping or upload, you are expected to do it at the same time. So at what point did you decide to do that of the national and leave the presidential? Because he said there is nothing like an order for them to do that separately. He says it's up to them and they are not up to their duty. Now, the question to be asked is, how is it that this is a pattern all over Nigeria? Because if you're looking at pattern and behavior, it can be distinctive, you know, with people depending on the location where they are. But all over Nigeria, they released the National Assembly and they did not release the presidential. And let me tell you why I'm saying so. You see, I agree with him. It is INEC that declares the result. So whatever opinion we hold, it is not a declaration to Nigeria. It forms the basis for our conviction. Now, every political party, especially the major political parties, have their what we call situation room, where you monitor. The same way people have INEC has agents, political parties have agents. So what you do is you monitor and conduct your own election, so to speak, in terms of recording, collecting data. I think that's the right word, collecting data. And then you will see real life results as they are going on. Now, this is a fact. Of all the results so far that is being shared, whether online or offline, by all political parties, Atiku Abubakar, apart from Lagos and Kano, in every part of Nigeria where he's not leading, he's number 2, not number 3, apart from Lagos and Kano.
Okay, that's what you say you've seen.
Yes, so I've laid the background to say that's not INEC result. Okay. But I am saying now that both the ones observed by us and our opponent, because it's been shared everywhere and all over the social media, INEC is not depending on it. You are not supposed to depend on it. But I am saying, like you argue in case I say, even on your own argument, I'm holding that you agree with me. So on all of the results so far, apart from Lagos and Kano, every part of Nigeria where Atiku is not number 1, he's number 2, but not number 3. But the rest of the candidates are number 2, number 3 in all the places. That gave us the spread of the 25 we know.
Now, you may hear the word results. It doesn't mean we're announcing results. We're discussing the process. We're not announcing results. Mr. Bwala is a lawyer. He knows the implication. He said it as well. We are not announcing results. So whether or not you hear the word doesn't mean we're announcing, because we are not. It is INEC that's got the right, the legal rights to announce results. So that's it. We will be going to break on the hour, but yes, you were making a point about the process, what is expected.
Not even us, to further strengthen your point, not even us have the power to announce the result, like I said from the beginning. It comes from the authorized body. And what we are here is to ask questions and then to also request, like in this case of the upload to the IREP. We are calling on the national chairman because the spokesperson for the commission has already said that he does not know why at the various states they are not doing it. So that means there is need to make that order. Because let me tell you why I said that. Yesterday, when those early results started coming in, you know, you get report from all over the places. Even amongst our opponent, they were conceding to the straight we were taking. By today, through the night to the morning, then we started saying abracadabra. You see, anytime, like my Ope said, what is the big deal about snapping and upload? This is what we do every day. My son, the other day, he snapped me and gave me the picture immediately. There's no big deal. But when you cannot release a result close to 24 hours, then a lot of people are going to be concerned. That's number 1. Number 2, the INEC result sheet has a security feature. We have heard from the field reports that in certain places, the result sheets that were given to the INEC officers were not the original one. And as they left the polling unit and went to wherever the collection center is, they were now given the original result sheet to then transfer the result into that. So we have confidence that INEC haven't known that in their result sheet there's a security feature. Based on Section 68, they have the powers to review the result before announcing. We don't want to hear that we will just announce, go to court. review the result, announce only results that were uploaded. And another thing again, the INEC officers at the polling unit have to be careful to know that before you upload a result to the IREV, it has to be legible enough for somebody to read. All of these things in a bid to avoid rigging. Now, we are clearly on a lead, like I told you. They can dispute that, but they have admitted to many of them. And allow me just 1 minute to say this, because it's very important. Tinubu, who is the one coming behind us, even the Lagos, where he comes from, is largely decimated by Labour and PDP. And that's the Southwest. Then he's struggling in some parts of the Southwest. He's nowhere in the South.
Mr. Bwala, I'm
Southeast.
afraid that we'll have to, interrupt you there, because what you're also doing is, almost casting aspersions on whatever result that INEC might release. So I think, in the meantime, let us stay with what it is that we know. We've raised the issue of the IREV. You have also raised concerns about it. You've talked about your own situation room, and I think that we might need to stick with that for now while we wait for the results.
Do you think I have the right to complain?
Of course, certainly, by all means.
Okay, so that's exactly what I was doing.
Well, thank you so much for spending time with us this morning. We expect, this afternoon, it feels like we've been here since morning because we've been monitoring through the night. But we certainly, look for the best outcome and hope that we'll be able to keep our viewers, staying tuned on the matter as we get further clarification. Thank you so much for staying with us this afternoon, Mr. Daniel Bwala, who is the spokesperson of the PDP Presidential Campaign Council.